So clicking on the butterfly main menu, you will see a similar form as previously used in calendar and diagonal, with a small number of differences. For example, fly type. This is where we define the butterfly type, and you will see BWB, which stands for broken wing butterflies, which is a specific type of butterflies. Later on, I will show you how to use it. Right now, let's look for SPX, put butterflies with only debit in the next 30 days with closer to the money. So front delta should be around 30.45. Let's leave it like on the default value, and fly type should be the standard one, which stands for 1, -2, and 1. And the strike difference right now should be, for illustrative purposes, 50. And the reward to risk should be 300%. And let's leave CW as the default value, range still as the default value, and minimum volume should be set to 1. So these are the results based on the criteria we set previously. As you can see, we have found 0 DTE expirations, 1 DTE, 2, 3, and a lot more inside this 0 to 30 days to expiration range. And there are many types of reward to risk. The highest is 1861%, and the target percentage difference, which is the target price of the butterflies, is 3.9% away. The target price in a butterfly is always the short strikes of the butterfly. As you can see, these butterflies have 50 points differences between the legs as we defined it here. If I'm looking for 50, 75, and 100, I can specify those numbers using comma as a delimiter, and then I will find like 75, 75. I'm not sure if there is any 100 with those set of criteria. Here you can see 100, 100. So it tells you that the first strike of the put butterfly is 4, 15, 39, 15, and 38, 15. Put butterfly with 17 days to expiration. And if I want to have less results, I can further refine the criteria. For example, let's only find something with 1000% reward to risk. And also we can define CW, which is almost the same as in diagonal spreads, where you can measure the credit based on the width of the credit spread, right? Because in a butterfly, there is always a debit spread. This part is the debit spread, and this part is the credit spread of the butterfly. And with CW, what I'm measuring is how much do I get as a credit based on the width of the credit spread. So right now in this example, the width of the credit spread is 100, and I need to have at least 0 in this type of scan, CW, as the percentage of credit based on the width. So if I set 20, I'm looking for those type of butterflies where I get the minimum 20% credit based on the width of the credit spread embedded in the butterfly. I still get a lot of results. And for example, if I'm looking for a flat butterfly, I could set the delta to a minimum number. Right now it's set from -100 to +100. What if I say I'm only looking for -1 to 0? There will be only flat butterflies in here. If you look for a search, see, only these are the butterflies which have flat cumulative delta in the position right now. So this is how you can scan for a butterfly which is pretty flat. Let's go back to the default value and scan again. And here you can see all the different strike combinations. And what if I don't know the right strike combination? Then I can look for all the combinations using 0 again. It says too many results, please narrow your search. It's because in SPX there are so many strikes that with searching with 0 combination, it can give you too many results. So we have to further refine or restrict our search criteria. So let's, for example, look for lower DTE ranges and more narrow front delta ranges as well, and see what it can come up with using strike difference as 0. As you can see here, the strike difference varies a lot. Here is 15, 10, 25, and the range, if you look for the range, these are very, very narrow SPX butterflies. So we can skip those out by specifying range. Let's look for the biggest one, 2%. So let's say the minimum range has to be 2%, and then we can have a fewer results with 2% range. Again, the 2% range means that the break-even points has to have at least 2 percentage point difference in terms of the distance between them. So as you can see, we are finding 45, 50, 45, 50 again. So we are only finding 45s and 50 strike difference combinations using these criteria. What if I lower CW and I lower reward to risk, but I want to increase this to 3 as the range? And we have found many others. Reward to risk ranges from 1,000 to like 600. Let's go back to expiration grouping. And I always look for target price, like how far is the target strike is from the current market price. This is the closest. Right now, SPX is 41.04. As you can see here, we have found different type of interval combinations like 70, 70, 75, 75, 80. We haven't found anything for 45 and 50 because we have set a bigger range as a criteria. If I lower it back to 2, the highest interval is 100, and then we have 45 again. So this is how you can search for different type of butterflies with the standard flight type with 1, -2, and 1. Now let's look for skip strike butterfly combinations, which stands for 1, -3, and 2. As you can see, the intervals changed because they are not symmetrical, they are not the same. So this is finding 60 to 30, and the quantity of legs are 1, -3, and 2. As you can see, it's a little bit tilted this way because it's a skip strike butterfly combination. And 70 to 35, 60 to 30. What else is here? There are only 2 types of combinations with this set of criterias. I can always go back and look for specific combinations like 50 and 100. And if I'm searching for 50 and 100, there are none. So let's look for 60-40. With 60-40, I find 60-30, and there is no 40-20, right? The easiest one is look for 0 if I'm not sure what type of strike differences I'm looking for in a put butterfly, but I want to specify the range, the reward to risk, and the cumulative delta, for example. So far we have looked for symmetrical butterflies. So now let's see how broken wing butterfly works. Let's go back to the standard configuration and try to find something with a broken wing that has 50 as the first leg difference and 60 as the second leg difference. And obviously the reward to risk has to be much lower, and I don't want to define the range right now, just to see what the results are. Here you can see the first interval is 50 and the second is 60. So the difference of the first strikes are 50 and the difference of the second strikes are 60. That's why it's a broken wing butterfly. Here you can see the broken wing type. This is where there is 50 strike difference, and this is where it's 60. As you can tell, it's broken wing, and the risk, the maximum risk is this one. The maximum risk always shows this part of the risk graph, and the price or debit is obviously this part, and the maximum profit is here. As you can see, all the butterflies have negative deltas and positive thetas. If I want to look for multiple broken wing combinations, for example 50 to 60 and 100 to 110, I can run those two scans in one scan. Here you can see 50 to 60, and there is only one result for 100-110 combination that is meeting those criteria above here. If I'm not sure what type of strike combinations to look for in a BWB, I can always use 0, and NinjaSpread will try and find all the combinations. So let's look for all the combinations. Too many results, yes, so we need to further refine our search. And let's say I'm looking for the minimum 200, still too many results, because there are too many combinations based on the 00 in here. So let's look for at least 20 CW. Now we have found results, and the range should be set to 2 at least, because I can see there are very narrow butterflies in here, which doesn't make sense at all using SPX. So 4550, 4550, 4560, 5070, there are different types of combinations. 5570, there are many types, right? The closest to the money is this one with 45 to 50. Let's look at the delta. There are positive deltas. If I'm looking for only negative delta broken wing butterflies, I can set it to 0, and then it's looking for only negative deltas. See? There are no positive at all. So this is how you look for all the combinations in terms of broken wing butterflies. And one more thing you have to note in here, if you are using 0 as strike difference and 0 as broken wing, it's only looking for broken wing butterflies, which has higher risk than the debit paid. I'm not sure what the name of this type of butterfly is, but if you are looking for a put broken wing butterfly, it will be tilted downward. And if you are looking for a broken wing butterfly on the upside, it will be tilted upside. If you are looking for example, a broken wing butterfly that is directionally tilted to the downside, you can look for example, 50 to 45. And then the first part will be 50 and the second part will be 45. So it will be a more negative delta directional butterfly. See? This is what I'm talking about. If you are using 50 to 55, it's the opposite, because it's showing you higher risk on the downside than on the upside. So this is kind of a neutral butterfly, and the previous one was a little bit, if I'm using 40, it's more of a directional. It's not finding anything with 40. So let's go back to 45. So this is more of a directional butterfly, as you can tell from the delta, from the cumulative delta number. But if you are using 0 and 0, it will only look for butterflies with higher risk than the debit paid. But you can always look for the other types by manually specifying them. You can manually specify different ones in here, like for example, look for 50, 75 and 100, and look for example 45, 70 and 95 against those. So 50 will be combined with 45, 75 will be combined with 70, and 100 will be combined to 95. And let's look for those directional butterflies. Only 5045 was found because of the higher CW. Let's go back and here, and let's try with these. I have found one 7570, and let's check if there is any 100. There are many, but I haven't found a 100. Probably that's because of reward to risk, but I'm not sure. This type of butterflies are more directional, negative directional butterflies. If you combine 50 with 55, 75 with, for example, 80, and 100 with 105, then you will look for more of a non-directional or flat butterflies, where the lower part of the risk graph has higher risk than what you pay for. Let's try to look for 0 DTE butterflies on the put side for SPX, where there is a little bit out of the money. And let's go back to the default in here and let's try that. If there is anything expiring today. Today is the 13th of September, and these are all the combinations that expire today. And what I'm looking for when I'm scanning for 0 DTE is the reward to risk has to be at least 200%, and it has to be the furthest, but still getting, for example, a credit. I forget to set the credit. I'm looking for credit butterflies, and those are the credit ones. I'm looking for 0 DTE. This is the furthest one. So if I'm looking for 4030, 4020, and 4005, that's 2% away from the market. Actually, this price is from yesterday because in Europe we are in the morning and the market hasn't opened yet. And this has a price of -15, which stands for a credit butterfly. And as you can see here, this is a credit butterfly, credit broken wing butterfly, with 10 to 15 as the strike differences, and this pays $50. The maximum risk is half of the maximum profit, but as you can tell, the maximum profit is never achievable in a butterfly, but the maximum risk is. So it's kind of, you have to keep it in mind. And what I'm looking for in a 0 DTE butterfly is, be it a credit and at least have 200 reward to risk, and be it the furthest. So if I want to buy something like that, I'm looking for this type of butterfly. And you can always look it for the upside using the call part. And this is the furthest one right now based on yesterday's closing prices. I need to run this obviously after the market has opened. It's just for illustrative purposes in here. So as you can tell, there are many types of combinations that you can use in terms of butterfly scanning. Now let's look for all the butterflies. If I'm looking for all the tickers in here, let's look for butterflies on the put side that has broken wing, at least 200 reward to risk, and pretty flat if we are using. And let's look for a range of minimum of 2 percentage point. With a credit, yeah, there is no credit at all, so let's be it $50. Those are the only ones with this set of criteria. If I lower the front delta, it will probably change. Yes, it has IWM, QQQ, and SPY are the only tickers I get. It's probably because I forgot to change the DTE. Yes, we have to change it too. There are no expirations in the next 1 day for the rest of the tickers That's why I haven't found anything. Too many results, so I have to further refine it back. And let's look for only negative data, broken wing butterflies in all the tickers in the next 15 days. And I have found many tickers. As you can tell in here, there are many types of tickers and many types of spreads. So I have to further refine it, like what are the biggest ranges. The smallest is 2%, the biggest is 16. Let's look for at least 5%. Okay, so these are all the tickers. And I haven't shown you something before. If you click on chart view, the whole table will be changed to a chart view settings, where you can see a shorter table with the relevant chart view. As you can tell, this is the AA ticker, this is the AA chart. Apple, and so on and so on. And you can turn these pages. If you want to see the results with the chart view together, you can do that. If you click on table view, it goes back to the regular table view. So these are all the ones that meet the criteria. Let's go back to credit and see if we get any credit, no credit, with 5% range. Let's try with lower ones. Google and Twitter offers me at least 0 price. It has a 2% away target price, and the reward risk is 500%. But obviously it has to be run when the market opens. This is just an example for looking in the my all ticker list and trying to find something lucrative by specifying my criteria. So I think we have covered a lot about butterfly. I guess it's pretty easy to use, but as I said in the beginning, NinjaSpread is good for the traders who know what to look for. So I'm curious what type of scans you are coming up with, and if you need any help with using butterflies and coming up with ideas, or if you have a specific spread that you are looking for, but you don't know how to define it or specify it in NinjaSpread, just let me know. I can help you by trying to specify your set of criterias.